Welcome. In this training cycle, you'll learn how to employ the Kh-29L laser-guided missile. If you wish to exit this mission, press the Control and Q keys. Should you wish to take control of the aircraft yourself, press the Escape key. We are en route to the German weapons training area, where I'll explain how this weapon is employed. Then I'll ask you to restart this session and fly it on your own. You already know that the Kh-29 has a massive warhead and is extremely effective against hardened targets and even sea-based targets such as ships. Both the Su-33 and MiG-29K are capable of carrying this missile. As with the Kh-29TE optically guided missile, you enable it by pressing the O key. Unlike the -29TE, however, there will be no TV picture in the MFD. Also, the L version has a much shorter range. You will not get launch authorization until the range closes to about 8.5 kilometers. Okay, we have permission to begin our attack run. Select air-to-ground weapons by pressing the 7 key. The Kh-29L is listed along the bottom of the HUD along with the number 4. That's the number of missiles we have along for today's exercise, and is the maximum number the MiG-29K can carry. You can use this missile against both fixed pre-designated targets and targets which you designate yourself. If you are designating your own target, you'll be using the Mark I eyeball to place the targeting reticle on the target. That's because the laser targeting system is not slave to the ground radar, and there is no magnified video picture to assist you. We have a wide selection of targets today: some ground vehicles, a building, and a ship. First, there are 3 T-80 tanks, 2 of which are pre-designated and 1 which is not. When employing this weapon against vehicles, it's best to pre-designate them through the mission editor. Trying to locate, designate, and lock them before you cross inside this weapon's minimum range is a virtual impossibility. That's why only 2 are pre-designated. You'll be able to see for yourself just how difficult it is to employ this weapon if they aren't. Now, let's turn on the laser targeting system by pressing the O key. Notice that the targeting reticle jumps to the targeting diamond. It is not, however, ground stabilized and is now moving across the ground at the same speed we're moving across the ground. We can also scroll it back and forth because we have not yet locked it onto a target. You lock a target by pressing the Tab key, and in order to lock a small pre-designated target like a ground vehicle, in this case a T-80 tank, you must press both simultaneously like this. Now just wait for the range to close and launch authorization is given.
Launch
There it is.
authorized.
Shifting to the second pre-designated target, enable and lock, launch. Now, in the mock village below us, there are several largish barns in the upper left corner. We'll designate and lock the middle one ourselves. Turn on the system with the O key. I find it best to scroll the reticle up to the center of the HUD and then place my nose on the target like this. Lock with the Tab key. Launch. And last, we'll be targeting an Elena-class tanker. Although the lasing system is designed for use against stationary objects and can't be moved once locked, you can still designate and launch against moving targets such as ships. Again, while using our own eyes to locate the target, we'll turn on the system with the O key and scroll to the middle of the HUD. Now all we have to do is judge the target's speed and designate the piece of real estate we expect him to be crossing when our missile arrives. Like this. Okay, I've run us out of missiles. I suggest that you press Ctrl Q, restart this mission, and fly it yourself. Remember, if the target is pre-designated and difficult to see, enable the system with the O key and press Tab to lock almost simultaneously, because the system is not ground stabilized. For larger, more easily visible targets, conduct a visual search, place the aiming reticle over the target, lock, and launch when authorized. You have control.